Hello, and welcome to Sum Integrals Preliminary Calculus Information. This is the fifth video in which I'll be discussing the concepts of unions and intersections. These are just ways of talking about sets and ways of making new sets from sets that you already have. So let's just get right into it, and I'll start off by drawing a picture here. This may be familiar to anyone who's studied Venn diagrams, but let's just let this be one set and this be another set. So I will let A be the set on the left and B be the set on the right, and I'll just start listing elements. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is a diagram that represents the elements of each of those two sets, A and B. What I can do is I can say A is going to be all of the elements inside of this left circle. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Similarly, I can say what B is. B is equal to, make my brace look a little bit nicer, 2, 3, 5, and 6. All right. However, I can tell that they have two elements in common. Both A and B have 2 and 3 in 2 and 3 are in both of those two sets. So what I'm going to do is orange. I'm going to define this region inside of this circle inside of both of those two circles right there to be the intersection. So that red section is the intersection. And I'll write that as A intersect B like that. It's just a little arch is equal to 2, 3. Similarly, I can see, well, if I just want to look at everything in both of those sets, I can look at this blue region right here. Oops. I can look at this blue section here, which includes the intersection as well. So the whole thing right here, this blue area, is called the union. And we say that A union B, written like this, A with a little upside down intersection arch, is equal to the set 1, since 1 is in this section, 2, since 2 is in both of them, 3, since 3 is in both of them, 4, since 4 is in the left one, 5, since 5 is only in the right one, and 6, since 6 is in the right one. So that's the union. The union is the set of all elements in both of them, or in their intersection. So let's formally write that out. Say for sets A and B, their intersection and I'll write that as A intersect B like that. It'll be defined to be the set of all x such that x is in A and x is in B. So all that means is it's the set of all, let me just underline that in red so that you can associate this. So A intersect B is the set of all x such that x is in A and x is in B. It has to be both. It's in both A and B. And their union A union B, written like that, is the set of all x such that x is in 1. X is in at least 1. Of A or B. So all that means is x is in at least one of those two sets. It's either in A or it's in B, or it's in their intersection. So that's how we define the union, and I'll just color it like that. So this should make sense. All we're talking about is the union is when you smash the two together and you get a big set containing all of them. So the union is all 6 of these numbers, and the intersection is only the 2 of them that they have in common, right? And the union is only 6 numbers because we don't double count. We don't write elements of the set twice. So because 2 is in both A and B, we only need to write it once in the union, right? So the next thing I'm going to talk about is a notion of what happens when they don't overlap. So let's say we have a new picture here. Here's a set A. Here's a set B. Say this has 1, 2, 3 in it. This has 4, 5, and 6 in it. So A is equal to 1, 2, 3, the set containing 1, 2, 3. B is equal to the set containing 4, 5, and 6. So what about their intersection in this case? There's no overlap, right? A has 1, 2, 3. B has 4, 5, 6. So they don't share any elements in common. So in this case, we would say A intersect B is equal to the empty set I introduced last video, where I called that also the null set, and I denoted it with this circle with a line through it like that. So there's a word for what happens in this case. I'm going to define it right here. If 2 sets A and B have intersection have an empty intersection. Have empty intersection. So A intersect B is the null set, or the empty set. Then we say A and B are disjoint. Disjoint just means that they don't overlap. There's no common elements between them. And I think that should be all that I'm going to talk about in this video. You can do some more things regarding sets, so you can look at some sets, you make your own, and just try and revisit Venn diagrams. So if this is confusing, you might want to revisit Venn diagrams and get a good intuition on what the union and the intersection of sets are. But I think this is a pretty good summary of all the topics that you might need to know for calculus at this point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.